Hello, welcome to HoboRec. Today we're going to have a look at building your own DIY guitar from a kit. This is the kit, and I bought it from Pitbull Guitars in Australia, which was the cheapest alternative I found with the kit and shipping costs combined to Europe. Everything is basically included except for tools and paint. So everything you need to build this guitar should be in here. Even 2 packs of strings, one that comes with the kit from the factory, I guess, and then also Pitbull Guitars were nice enough to send a bit higher quality package of strings also. Straight out of the box, everything looks really nice. I knew already some of the pitfalls since I've been watching Guns and Guitars build of this exact kit. For example, the nut piece is way too high. There's a 0 fret on this guitar and the nut piece is so high that the strings won't rest on that 0 fret. So that's one thing that has to be taken care of. Also, the microphones are not really matched, but that doesn't matter because I already had some P90 microphones from Seymour Duncan laying around that I'm gonna use. And speaking of that, during this build I'm gonna try my best to not buy any stuff. I'm just gonna build it from what I have in ways of tools and extra stuff. So the only thing I'm gonna change from the original kit here is the microphones, because I already had a pair laying around. Other than that, I'm gonna try and use just what's in the kit and stuff I have laying around. Goes both for tools and paint and stuff like that. I started with just putting all the basics together. I put the tuners in place, the bridge and everything, and then I mounted the neck on the body to string the guitar and to see what I had to work with. And as I said, the nut piece was way too high to be usable, and also all the frets has to be leveled, and I'm gonna show you how I did that. And also it felt like the neck was a bit high in the pocket of the body. The fit was really good, but I had to raise the bridge a lot to make everything work properly. I'm not sure if that has to do with the height or if it may be an angle issue, but I will look further into it and come with a solution in the next episode of this guitar build. So in this video I will mostly go through how I leveled and crowned the frets. I watched a lot of videos on YouTube since I'm a total rookie at this, so I had to find some tips and tricks on how to do this and what tools to use. So watching Guns and Guitars and Dan's videos there, you can find some really good tips. Make your own tools for this purpose. In my shed I found a level made out of metal that I could make into a multi-purpose tool. The first thing you have to make sure before you start leveling your frets is that the neck is straight. I marked out all the frets on the level with a Sharpie, and then I took a file and made gaps on all those places so that the level will fit against the fingerboard without touching the frets. That way I will make sure that the fingerboard or the neck itself is really straight before we start to even out the frets. And as you can see here, it was not very straight, so I had to go in with an hex key here to adjust the truss rod. Make sure you only do really small adjustments and then control it in between. For the next part, I started with turning my level into an extremely long and very flat file by putting some sandpaper on it with the help of double-sided tape. Next, we're gonna paint all the frets black with the help of Sharpie to give us a visual reference point of how much we need to file down the frets. I took off the nut piece to let me get to the 0 fret while filing. I accidentally broke off a piece of the fingerboard, but I found the piece, so I hopefully will be able to glue it on later. After this, I just started filing down the frets, and I just made sure to keep an eye on the frets and the black Sharpie paint on them. I don't want to file it down too much, just enough so that the very top black is gone on all the frets. Some of them will be more filed down, obviously, but not all of them will have to be filed down very much. And now when we have a bunch of flat frets, it's time to crown them. I'm gonna make them round and nice again. So again, we're gonna start with painted frets black with the Sharpie. Before I start filing this frets, I'm gonna tape off the fingerboard around it to protect it. And there are special tape for this, but at this point for me, this regular electrical tape did just fine. And as I said before, I'm gonna try to make this build without buying any special tools and stuff, so I'm just gonna bring out what I have that I can use. Probably some of the more experienced guitar builders will laugh at me and tell me that I'm doing this completely wrong, but I'm trying this way and I think the result is pretty good. I will probably have to polish them up a little bit more in the future, but it will do for now. I started with the metal file that was the roughest one, I start filing a little bit on each side of the fret to try to round it off. And what I do is I look at the black paint from the Sharpie, and I want it to be just like a thin hair left just at the top on the middle of the fret. And then after that I work myself down step by step with my different filing tools that are finer and finer until I get to the last one, the steel wool, just to polish the thing up. Also make sure while you're filing that you don't take off any more of the top of the fret, so you make it lower again, then you have to level it from the start again. That's about as far as I've gotten so far. In the next episode we're gonna put everything together and most of all see if this fret leveling and crowning did work out as good as I hope. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button or subscribe or do whatever you want to help me and spread this thing. And I see you again next week. Bye bye. Cheers.